Welcome to the 215th episode of News Dump, where we run through the hottest topics in the Lewis County news scene and discuss. I'm local man Aaron VanTuyl, joined by Chronicle executive editor Eric Schwartz, and Chronicle photographer and freelancer Kody Christen.
Independent
contractor.
Hired gun.
One of the best hired guns around. We're also joined in spirit by sponsor Summit Funding, Chehalis Outfitters, and the Roof Doctor. Does anybody have any preambles? I think we'll have a relatively short, somber episode this evening.
Did you hear that Centralia has once again prevailed in the most important competition between our local Twin Cities?
Did they win the Salvation Army
Battle of the Badges, Red Kettle face-off?
Gosh dang right, they did.
Cody got a photo of Chronicle.
Back-to-back champions in Centralia.
Back-to-back.
Proving yet again that Centralia knows best how to take care of its local citizens.
Absolutely.
Word on the street is the people have forgotten all about the Swamp Cup.
Yeah, no, that's
That's old news.
We don't measure our community by that.
No.
We measure it by our
By
kindness.
high schoolers playing football.
Specific to the Salvation Army contest with Centralia is undefeated at.
What was the final tally on that?
Oh, it's at cronline.com. I don't have it in front of me. It was like a $40.
Absolute $40 landslide by Centralia.
Yeah, it was like a $40 difference. Mitchell, our reporter, gave $1 to each kettle.
Oh,
I took a photo of him donating his first $1 to the Centralia kettle, and in the photo you can see him holding his wallet that has another $1 sticking out of it.
Could have easily given a couple dollars.
That's a pretty funny photo. I sent it to you guys with the headline, "Local hero makes a difference."
It was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else real significant as far as preambles go.
Well, I mean, you need to correct the record as far as your commitment to be a judge for the Saturday lighted tractor parade.
I will be unable to be a judge on the lighted tractor parade this weekend. You have found a replacement in either Cody or Emily.
You could have told both Executive Director McGee and Hallie Rawls of the CDA that you were going to do this when they were on this podcast.
It was a late-breaking situation.
Aaron, I want to know what you're doing that's more important than the tractor parade.
I'm going to a Dandy Warhols concert in Tacoma on Saturday night.
Who is that?
That's a band, rock band from Portland.
Rock band from
You wouldn't have known about it because
Portland?
his music his tastes are a bit more
I
refined.
wouldn't have known
yours.
about it because it's from Portland and I listen to actual music.
Yeah.
Do you think there's no music from Portland? What
I cannot think of a single music.
What are you listening to these days? Do you listen to the Landman soundtrack?
No.
You'd like it. It's a lot of good stuff.
All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry.
Moving on to news items. Former aide to Commissioner Emily Klaus speaks out as Thurston County releases investigation report. Schwartz, do you have any words on the scooping?
Oh, no, the
Done
Olympian.
upon you by
We
the
broke
Olympian?
this story way back when Klaus was first kicked off all of her boards and commissions for allegedly having a really messy relationship with her aide up there and firing him, making some allegations after his allegations.
Is an aide just like a secretary?
Yeah.
It's okay.
I think they're
Aide seems like a
executive
strange name.
executive assistants, technically.
When I
is
think of
the
aide,
job
I think
class.
of like a service dog, like
Yeah.
not a secretary.
But the Olympian ended up closing out the story, I'd say. They got an interview with the accuser. They had a follow-up today with Klaus, and basically the commissioner said, you shouldn't have done all these things. And, she issued a statement today that was like, you know what? I shouldn't have done a lot of these things, and I won't in the future.
Good for her.
But the whole, report is just kind of embarrassing for her.
Yeah. So the outside investigator determined Klaus is not great at her job, but also not an immoral sexual deviant from a legal standpoint.
Because they're being sued from a legal standpoint
Yes.
by the accuser. The county's not going to come out and be like, yeah, she did it.
So the aide in question's name is Alan Hershey, which sounds fake. He is the scorned lover / employee in this story, and he's represented by attorney Edward Earl Younglove III.
It's a great name.
Is that a real name?
It's a great attorney name. Instills confidence.
Yeah. From the story, she referred to him as the, quote, shadow commissioner and the, quote, best EA ever. Do either of you feel like either of those things are true?
No.
You don't think she was the shadow commissioner?
No, she was, or
That he was the shadow
that he was.
commissioner?
No, I don't think so.
Do you think we have any shadow commissioners around here? I'm not pointing names at anybody.
do you mean
like,
by a shadow
like, think
commissioner?
I'm
Like they wield that kind of power.
just like behind the scenes telling a commissioner what to do.
So that's like someone pulling the strings, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's string pullers around here.
Do you want to name names,
I won't
coward?
name names. Naming any names.
Are you a
I want
shadow
my
commissioner?
strings pulled.
I'm not gonna.
But yeah, the report. I continue to be confused as to how someone making $150,000 a year is like borrowing money from the aid and doesn't have enough money to pay for parking tickets.
Can't
to get
drive.
a license. Had a warrant in Lewis County.
String puller.
Yep, that's a string puller right there in that photo. But yeah, no, I think at least this part of it's over with. She's going to be put back on the commissions and boards, and we'll see how that lawsuit plays out. But
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff in the story and the reports that kind of sounds like middle school level flirting and relationship grievances, and really it's just kind of a bummer.
yeah, just
There's nothing like extremely salacious in there. It's just kind of like, Jesus, just grow up.
you
both
saw
of them,
that
everybody.
the international press got a hold of this story, and the Daily Mail stole the entire show with their headline that called Klaus a what was it? Glamorous female lawmaker. Like that was the description they got for the Thurston County Commissioner.
Sure, I guess. Like,
They like based on nothing. Like they got the female part, right?
Yeah.
Presumably, but like commissioner, I mean, I'm not really a lawmaker. Those crazy
No.
Brits just doing whatever they want in the media.
yeah, just saying whatever they want about our fine
Probably
system of
wiretapping
elected
them,
officials
too.
here.
It's wild press over there. I'd never survive.
Yeah, but yeah, the whole thing, like she didn't have money and was borrowing money and leaving each other weird notes and hiding candy and all this shit. Like,
What is the yearly salary of a Thurston County commissioner?
Like 150.
She
you
had,
saying,
she
she
had
had
no
money?
money.
Yeah, she should have money. I don't know why she does not have money.
had a lot of like unpaid parking tickets down here too, and
I feel like I have a good amount of money. I make a
Yeah,
lot
that,
less.
that bit
than
about
Yeah.
the someone left a candy on her chair, which she took as an attack because she has a sugar addiction.
Yes,
That was in the docs as
it's
well.
not called a sweet tooth anymore, folks.
No, it's a sugar addiction.
Sugar
I
addiction.
don't
is
mean
that
to make
a
light.
real ailment?
I don't
Like,
know. She said
know.
it was. She was quite upset about it.
Respect her sugar addiction, Aaron. Don't you sigh like that.
Just a long, slow burning controversy.
Big
the last
epidemic
one.
in America, man.
I sure.
RFK's gonna fix it.
Yeah, I bet he is. He's running the Michelle Obama playbook.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next item. Chehalis lost the Giant today, and longtime city councilor Daryl Lund dies at 63. And Schwartz, you were certainly close with him. Do you want to just tell some stories?
Yeah, I love Daryl. I don't know anyone who knew Daryl that didn't like Daryl for one reason or another. Just a kind, affable, kind of goofy guy, fun guy. Yeah, he passed away last week. He and Chad Taylor, our publisher, were on the city council together for a long time. I know they were very close in comparison. I knew him more as like a source, and then my first run-in with him right out of college, Brian Mitke, editor at the time, asked me to get new photos of all the counselors. So I asked Daryl for his photo, and he stood up against the wall and asked if I wanted him to take his clothes off or leave them on. I was like, oh, please leave them on. Let's see. Not long after that, he allowed you and I to watch The Dark Knight in his theater balcony.
I would say that was one of the formative moments in our friendship.
Yeah, for sure. It was the Dino Rossi
The Dark
suite.
Knight.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
The original. It was
Opening
great.
night.
I wrote a blog about it. Blogs were new at the time, you see.
I see.
Yeah, it was great. I don't think
Far
it
before
exists
my
on the
time,
internet
but
anymore.
that's okay.
But yeah, and then once Chad and Corley bought the paper, I heard from Daryl a lot more because I think he really took on the title of friend of the paper and took it like personally, where he was just always trying to give us tips. Not like most of the time we get a tip, there's like a hook to it, like the person giving it to you gets some sort of benefit out of you writing it. But with Daryl, it was never like that. It was just like, hey, this cool thing happened in Chehalis. Or a lot of times with Daryl, hey, this horrible thing is happening in Chehalis and I want it fixed now.
Yeah. Good guy.
So yeah, we heard from him less than a week before he died. He wanted us to come take a picture of his new printer over at Minuteman Press. Kody headed over there, but they couldn't get it inside the building, so we didn't have that news item. But I still have that voicemail on my phone, and I will hang on to all my Daryl Lund voicemails.
I hope I can take a photo of that printer when they do get it in the building. in
You
his
should.
honor.
You should.
I think we
You
should.
look down
My
smiling.
favorite. I don't know Daryl very long, obviously, because I haven't worked here very long. But he was at just about every event I covered that had to do with the city of Chehalis. And my favorite Daryl Lund memory is one time I was at I think it was the Valentine's Day wine mixer or something at the I-5 Toyota last year, and I was sitting there talking. He was sitting there talking to some people, and I walked up and said hi to him, and he just started telling these people that I actually owned the entire i5 Toyota and like all the i5 car dealerships.
Oh, that sounds about right.
They were like, yeah, his granddad owned them all and passed away a couple years ago and just left him to him. He's 19 and running the whole show. And I just played along. I was like, yeah, I try to be humble about it, lie low, you know. We just talked to these people about it for like 5 minutes. It was really fun.
They totally bought it.
Also able to spend time with Daryl at former photo editor Jared Winselberger's bachelor party, where he and I were the two oldest people there.
Daryl was at?
Yeah,
Really?
Daryl was there. It was Jared and all his young friends, and then me and Daryl, and we had a great time. Daryl had a real like renaissance the last couple of years too. I know he was taking care of himself a lot more and started a new business. I was proud of him, and we'll miss that guy.
Yeah, always a good source. Fun dude, nice guy. All right. I've only got one other news item on here, and then you can pull up anything you want. But Lewis County is going to meet with local groups as it looks to improve the animal shelter. The county's holding a focus group to figure out what to do with the animal shelter. And basically, they're trying to find a nonprofit to kind of take it over. Public Health Director Mia Handlin is kind of thinking maybe someone else should be running it, and I don't think she's wrong. The story also pointed out that Lewis County is one of the few counties in the state that operates an animal shelter and one of the only ones that does so under the direction of the county's public health and social services. And when you point it out like that, it is kind of weird.
Yeah, and I like the way the county is approaching this because they've been getting criticized specifically by like the rescues. I know Onalaska Farm Sanctuary is where I've seen a lot of it, just in their inability to take out and adopt animals, the amount of time it takes. And it seems like the Public Health Department is like taking all that seriously, and they want to have a meeting where they can air those grievances to people that could potentially bring about a change. So I don't know. I've never had any issues with our Public Health Department. They've always been extremely helpful through the last couple of directors.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be a good meeting, and I've seen some positive feedback from the rescue community.
Good. What other news items do you want to bring up here?
Well, we talked about Daryl. Former Centralia Mayor Lee Coombs also died this week.
Yeah, I saw that. That's too bad. A neighbor, a fellow Watch Prairie man.
Yeah, Watch Prairie man, husband of also former Mayor Bonnie Candaday.
Yeah.
So we'll have a story together on his life. What are some highlights for Lee? He's the Spring Youth Fair, like the personification
the sausage
of the
man.
Spring Youth Fair. Yep,
Always
sausage
slanging
man.
sausages at the fair.
Real good sausages, too. I would always
Yeah.
make sure to go to his booth when he had those. Just kind of a volunteer. Borslights, he was always kind of tip of the spear on that, putting that together every year. Just did a lot. The county commissioners recognized Lee Coombs, Daryl Lund, and Bill Brumsicle, another local man who passed away this month, during a commissioners meeting this morning, just kind of talking about how these titans, as they put it, are passing on, and I think a lot of people are going to realize a lot of the work they did real fast, just because there's going to have to be someone there to fill that vacuum.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think specifically Spring Youth Fair, like I know he was doing a ton of work for that, Lee Coombs, that is.
Yeah, and for a long time, too.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a rough week. We'll have coverage on Lee Coombs in Thursday's edition. Daryl was on the front of the Tuesday edition of today's edition. And then Julie had a nice column about Bill Brumsicle last week.
Yeah. All right. Any other news items? We've got Santa arriving via helicopter in Adna.
Gosh,
We've
our
got the
Santa coverage was
parade
just
on
loaded.
Saturday. Lots of Santa Claus.
We didn't even get all the
things.
Santas. Moose Lodge also had a Santa appearance. Santa was at the farm store.
I was at the juice box last night to catch the Grinch, but in Grinchy fashion, he did not show up.
Really?
Cody just didn't get a
Flake.
picture of him.
Yeah,
It
I
was
just
the
couldn't
raise for
couldn't find the
Rowan.
big green guy.
Grinchmas. Yeah.
Was he
That's
actually supposed to be? Did you miss it? What
No, he was supposed to be there to take photos with people, and I got there like a half hour early. They told me I was like a half hour early, so I walked back to the Cron, grabbed my car, went back, and I probably gone like 15 minutes, and they were like, "Oh yeah, the Grinch came out for a couple minutes, but he went back
You missed him.
into hiding, and he's gonna come back out later. Don't worry."
Blew
And then
the
I was there
assignment.
another hour, and he never showed his face again.
What is he like popping into?
You know, the conclusion I've come to is the Grinch is scared of me.
Well, you should be. You're so bursting with holiday cheer all the time.
Right.
Cody also went and did a photo spread that we'll have in Thursday's paper of Ralphie the dog from the Sharon Care Memory Care Unit.
Oh yeah, you were
Centralia.
going on and on about that.
Oh, you saw those photos. I mean,
Yeah,
come
he's
on.
a
When he's getting
good
his
little
back
boy.
scratches there, come on.
That was a
get
fun.
out
That
of
was
here.
a fun assignment.
Uh-huh.
I like my personal favorite is the one where he's just giving high fives to residents.
Was that a trick, or did they have to like put him into that position.
No,
He
it's true.
does
He
high
just
fives.
knows how. Yeah, you just say, "Give me 5, Ralphie." He just smacks you a paw.
That dog looks awesome.
Yeah, he's good. He wasn't as old as I thought. He's just. I think his owner told me he's like just recently turned 2. He's a younger
Okay.
pup.
He looks older for
Full
some
of
reason.
energy.
He looks
Yeah.
wise.
Anyone who walked in that door that looked unfamiliar, everyone in the building knew about it. He would yap away at him.
Good. Good for Ralphie.
Yeah, his owner told me that he barks at anyone who looks suspicious, and I didn't get barked at, so
That's
I
good.
take
Good
that
for
as a
you.
compliment from Ralphie. I passed his
Kind aura.
vibe check. Kind aura.
The other news story that jumped out to me was this crime. Bail set at $500,000 for a Centralia armed robbery suspect accused of stealing a vape pen, kidnapping. It's just a bizarre story.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like there's some real bad apples around here. I guess they were going to sell multiple vape pens or something, but it was just one vape pen. They met
I love
the
that
juveniles.
I love that Emily included that the retail value of the vape pen was $15 in the store.
$17, I think.
17, sorry.
But yeah, the juvenile jumped into the car and then quickly had a gun pressed up against the back of his head. And then just to prove the street cred of this juvenile, he chucks the vape out the window as they're driving him away. Yeah. And angers the driver who jumps out and like hits him with the pistol allegedly.
Pistol whipped him,
Yeah, and then they arrested the second suspect a couple days later at his place of work where his mother was the manager, and it sounded like a real awkward, do you know why we're here? I've got a general idea, but it wasn't me. You see, it was the other guy in the back seat of the car. So they're at the point now where all these teenagers are kind of pointing the fingers at each other. And,
Rat each other out.
yeah, and that was a kind of a crazy case.
No code in Centralia.
Anyway, so Kody, make sure you're buying your vape pens from reputable businesses and not strangers in the park.
Of course.
Armed strangers in the park.
And we had a lot of crime news just today, too. We had a guy in Randall who had like 21 guns in a non-legal way.
Maybe he was saluting.
Well, he's jailed now. And then you had 2 inmates who jumped another Lewis County inmate and broke his tooth and beat him up because they found out he was a sex offender. And in the story, the guy's like trying to explain, look, I'm a level 1 sex offender, not going to reoffend or nothing. And they weren't
Just your
hearing
run-of-the-mill pervert.
Yeah, so I don't. The name of the victim isn't in the story, but we did figure out who it was and looked up his background and whatnot. But
Was
Did
the,
he deserve
was
how
the
that
beating
goes.
was the beating deserved?
I don't like to ever see extrajudicial punishment like that being handed out. I shouldn't say ever. In most cases, I think you're in jail. He's probably being punished for
The system's
whatever he
working.
did.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the people who jumped him also had their own crimes that were listed in the story, and I'm pretty sure one of them was assault. So maybe they just like beating on people. Who knows?
That could be.
Got heavy fists.
But yeah, busy day for crime. There was also a bank robbery in Grand Mountain today.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I saw that.
Guy made it like 5 miles back towards Thurston County, and they caught him on the freeway. Didn't sound like he was real serious about getting away from that bank robbery to me. If he's still on I-5, like.
There's a lot of better options to take out Grand Mount.
Yeah, just some back roads or
Yeah,
something.
go to the beach, man.
Yeah, you should have headed west.
Grand Mount gets hit by bank robbers a lot. It seems like
Really?
at least a few different
Well, it's
times.
so close to the freeway. They think you just get away. They forget about that I-5 squeeze.
See, if I'm robbing a bank in Grand Mound, I'm heading to Brooklyn afterwards.
Ooh, smart.
Yeah.
You just ditch right out into the woods there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe all the way to what else is out there? Arctic?
Yeah, you go to the Brooklyn Tavern, the Arctic Tavern.
Yeah.
Get your way down to Raymond. Lay low for a while.
Yeah, once you get to Brooklyn, if you're out there, you can take those logging roads.
Oh,
and
yeah,
go.
you're in the clear. I don't know why
There's
you're
20
heading-
different cities you can
Why
go
you're
to.
jumping on I-5 and
Yeah.
going back to Olympia? It doesn't even make sense to me. If you're going to rob a bank at the very edge of Thurston County, why are you not fleeing into Lewis County?
Absolutely.
A lot of Monday morning bank robbing going on with this particular attempt.
Pretty easy to lay low in Lewis County.
No one's going to look for you. If they do, they're not going to be able to find you.
All right, let's take a break, and we'll be right back.
Heart attack robbed this bank.
Hi, this is Jeff and Julie from Fairway Lanes.
Jeff and I met Jasek of Summit Funding at our bowling center, so when we fell in love with this community and it was time to relocate, we knew we would be calling Summit Funding.
They understand that everyone has a unique situation when buying a home.
He had already helped 2 of our employees get into their own homes. The Summit Funding team exceeded our expectations. It was a seamless experience with great communication from his whole team.
Thank you to Summit Funding for making our buying experience special and memorable.
All right, we're back. It's time for segments, and first up is Tales from the Takes page, and Brian Mitke has a column on Daryl Lund. May Daryl Lund's spirit live on in new generations of enthusiastic service. Good work by Mitke here.
Yeah, I thought he really nailed the Daryl dynamic. Just the goofy smile is what he zeroed in on, and
Yeah.
he think that endeared him to a lot of people, and I agree. But yeah, I'm glad Mickey did that. He's also putting together a Lee Coombs column for us too. So
Good.
Hope to have that for Thursday, maybe for Saturday. We shall see.
Yeah. What else do we have? Letter to the editor. Well, this is directed directly to the editor. I'm not sure if this is for publication. Stalking is not love.
Oh, come on.
I believe this is directed to you, sir.
That's from the Centralia High School student collection of letters that I got just before Thanksgiving. There's a teacher over there that gives us an assignment every year. I think it might be extra credit. But anyways, I got a bunch of them. I also have a kid in there who's speaking out against name, image, and likeness deals for high schoolers.
All right, can high schoolers get name, image, and likeness deals?
According to this letter writer.
Well,
talked about
lots of NIL money over Centralia High School these days.
I still really want to find the right opportunity for the Chronicle to give someone an NIL deal. I think it would be a lot of fun. I don't know who it would be.
What would they do, though?
I don't know. Wear Chronicle stuff.
Yeah,
read the paper in public locations.
Chronicle headband.
Read the print paper.
What you should do is give it to a student section. So when they do the gag of the other team getting announced and everybody holds up the newspaper, it's a Chronicle.
What other newspaper are you going to get around here? We get that gag for free.
Well, they'd have to buy the newspaper somewhere, but not if they're sponsored.
Yeah, we'll think of it. I'll think of a really good one someday. I'd like maybe like a guy that's doing the cheese roll. Remember we had a local cheese roller that one time?
Oh, yeah. Well, he wasn't. He was...
Yeah, it's local-ish.
Local-ish,
He visited Napavine, so...
Molly...
local.
Molly's boyfriend or fiance or whatever.
Yeah, Molly's fiance or boyfriend or whatever.
Letter to the editor. Medical commission wrong to punish local doctor. All right, calm down.
That was from your good friend Jim Stafford out in Adna.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. He's once
accused of improperly prescribing ivermectin for treatment of COVID-19. That's not entirely true.
Which part isn't true?
He wasn't punished for prescribing ivermectin. He was punished for going about it in the wrong way.
Yes. Yeah, that was a little bit of an older story. I think a couple months ago. But
letter to the editor on both sides of the fence at the same time. Are they talking about
Shane.
you again?
No.
Sir?
That's a Dennis Shane joint.
Letter to the editor. Can otherworldly guests please share the secret to converting mass to energy?
That was my favorite letter of the week. Just a very earnest, if you get picked up by aliens, can you please find out how they're doing this? Because that's the only way they could be doing it, according to this letter writer.
Our views... The PUD Commissioner Michael Kelly should resign as he faces felony bribery charge. Hot take.
That was a hot take.
I should see what else is in here. Oh, look at the picture that goes with it. It's Kody's banger of a photo.
Was it stolen?
It was them out in the parking lot.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, it's
Step down.
kind of hard to focus for everybody, I feel like, when one of these being charged in a really embarrassing bribery.
When are we going to go do the Kelly crawl?
The Kelly Crawl, that's when we go get ourselves some mead at Good Buzz Brewing and bribe someone en route to the limit.
Yeah.
Whenever.
All
I've
right,
never
yeah.
been to
I believe,
either
actually,
of those
if you want to be
establishments.
accurate to the case, I think you
start
you
hinting
bring
at
up the bribe at the mead place.
Gotcha. And then
Move
you
to the-
scramble when someone
Yes.
shows up that you don't want to hear
And
the
you
bribe.
repeat the term about back scratching.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you really,
Yes.
you really
take
get
care of
after
me.
it.
You
Yeah,
really
take
get
care
into
of
the
you.
meat and potatoes of it at the limit.
Yeah. No, I like that. And then as you leave, you call your attorney.
One of you.
And the crawl actually extends days later when you record the phone call. Getting them to
You call to talk about
repeat it.
that sick time you had at the limit. I mean, who hasn't had an incriminating conversation about actions taken at the limit?
Yeah, I'm sure there's been a lot of bribery that's gone on there that we haven't heard about.
Yeah. Anyway,
And I have been to the limit once. Sorry, I went there for a Seahawks game years ago.
Me and my dad actually go to the limit a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their
It's
food's actually
really
their
good
food's
food.
not
I
bad.
don't mean anything
Dude,
disparaging.
we love their fries that they have.
Yeah, they do have really good fries. You're
They have
right.
the banger.
I kind of want to go to the
old-school
limit after
cut
this. though.
fries. Yeah, really good.
Like they're just cutting up potatoes in the back type fries.
Yeah,
No,
they're
it's
just
like-
like the big greasy steak fries.
Yeah,
kinda.
exactly.
Yeah.
Just like you
legit.
don't need salt or anything. They just taste.
Yeah, you
phenomenal.
let me know. We'll do it.
All right.
And then you'll cancel on me at the last
Of
minute. 'cause
course,
that's your
yeah.
MO. But
Don't worry, I'll be there.
If you feel like your best friend has left you out in the weather and needs some some cover, visit our friends at the Roof Doctor, providing all the roofing services you need and asking, is your roof or best friend under the weather?
they can repair lots of things, but they can't repair your best friend's feelings when he's been backstabbed.
Providing new roofing and re-roofing, roof repair, roof cleaning, and emergency roofing. Serving Lewis County since 1959. A family-owned business. Give them a call at 360-736-0246 or 360-623-7094 or visit them online, theroofdoctor.com. People's Champion of the Week. Daryl Lund, of course, is on the short list.
Yeah,
for this
Daryl
one.
Lund gets my vote for sure.
Is he in line for any Person of the Year awards or anything?
I don't know. We don't ever discuss those publicly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We go into deep deliberations at the beginning of January.
All right, move over, Kody.
Several 12-hour marathon meetings are held.
What are you saying? I was in the running for Person of the Year?
Yeah, who you were.
Yeah. So I think Daryl Lund will certainly have to be on the list for a posthumous nod. Do you got any suggestions? Who are your Person of the Year?
I don't have anything, really. I was thinking about it the other day, and yeah, I don't know.
No one's been exceptional this year?
Everybody's been adequate.
Do you think we could swing making Chad Person of the Year?
Yeah, I think.
Absolutely.
No, Corley. We got to do Corley first.
David Plotz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
David Plotz. That'd be a good one.
I don't mind Plots at all.
Yeah,
Plotz isn't
David Plotz is a
bad.
great guy.
Yeah, no Plots and Plots is on duty.
He ain't no. Well, I guess never mind.
He in fact is.
He is. Yeah, never mind.
I like to imagine after he got off the phone with his attorney, he just muttered to himself, "No one plots on plots." Plot on plots, you best not miss.
As he looks out a rainy window.
If you want to bribe Plots, you better come with more than 4%.
Still the worst part about the bribe.
know.
So you're not going to give me a raise? No. We're going to give you half the raise you want.
It's like
And
cola.
not a penny more.
You're gonna like it.
Yeah. and for that raise, you will give me
A full-time
six-figure
job.
job that I'm inventing right now.
It doesn't exist.
Boy.
Terms were all askew.
Yeah, it wasn't so much that it was a bribe, it was just such a bad bribe.
Like
Kelly
You
was
know,
not locked in when he was
sprinkle
driving,
in some Bitcoin. David Plotz is the reason that we have a Bitcoin newspaper rack in Chehalis.
How are those selling?
About one every couple of days.
All right, and then the other nominee I had, Tom and Karen Alderson, were named Centralia High School's 2025 Distinguished Alumni, a cornerstone of Lewis County and beyond. They've had Alderson's Award Wested printwares forever, as far as I could tell. They've been there for quite some time.
This is the second annual Distinguished Alumni Award. I remember because I shot the first one last year, who was Gary Loomis.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, the fishing lure guy, fishing rod.
So-
Rods, reels? He's got rods, right? It's G. Loomis Fishing
I think it's
Equipment.
just everything at this point. I think he started out just with,
Yeah.
Pioneer in the graphite means of production, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
No, Tom and Karen Alderson, just a perfect choice for that award. I like that the Centralia School District is making that an every year thing. I think that all school districts should do it, and you'd surely be an ADNA, distinguished alumni sometime in the next 100 years or so.
I don't think that's accurate at all, but
Remember, you placed in the golf tournament.
I did indeed.
in
yeah.
last.
what you guys got
yeah.
for next year's Distinguished Alumni of Centralia High School?
Yeah. I should do one for the Chronicle.
Who do you think it's going to be next year?
Next year?
Who you got?
It's a long ways off. A lot could happen between now and then.
That's true. Jared Wenzelberger, maybe?
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah,
a good
Crawler.
That's a good one.
Bring him back. Sirens Banger of the Week. I just liked this headline. Woman arrested for stealing mail. Juveniles made to clean graffiti. And, quote, heavily intoxicated and arrested for trying to fight friends. Just a great encapsulation of the fun crime we've got around here.
It was a good mix. I did enjoy the graffiti one because, yeah, they were caught by an officer taken to their parents who forced them to go back and clean it. Very classic punishment there.
Yeah.
Kind of wonder what the graffiti was. I've seen some interesting stuff around town lately.
Yeah.
Wondering if it's their work.
Heavily intoxicated person arrested for trying to fight friends. Who among us?
I read that one and I was like, oh, poor guy.
Yeah, he's just having some fun.
It didn't even say he was fighting friends. He was just trying to fight them.
Yeah, and then a woman arrested for stealing mail. My first thought was, she's back?
It was a different one, I think. The last one, she's got a long prison term, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, well, she stole a lot of mail.
You feel like she's like maybe the kites aren't secure on her prison block.
Yeah.
She's probably just reaching out and snatching them.
Do you want to talk about Chehalis Outfitters?
Chehalis Outfitters, of course I would like to talk about Chehalis Outfitters and our good friend store manager Kelly Erb, who we saw yesterday, and asked that we plug the Santa's Hut that they have over at Chehalis Outfitters. If you want to get a good look at it, go to their Facebook page. They've got pictures of everyone who went there last weekend and during their holiday open house. And Santa's going to be back there on Saturday from 2 to 5, Santa and Miss Claus. And then Sunday from 1 to 4. So you should check it out.
You know, it is the countdown to Christmas.
It is the countdown to Christmas. There's so many Santas. Like, it's wild. I'm looking at the Santa. It's a pretty good Santa here at Chehalis Outfitters. The Santa Parade Santa, though, very refined Santa. It was a Santa I could believe in. I think he had his own beard.
Yeah.
Good
Cody,
Santa.
they got Blackstone grills on sale over at Chehalis Outfitters. $189 with the stand.
Oh, you in the market?
I have one already.
Oh, I
This is
see.
sick.
It's pretty sick, yeah.
Nice.
Makes meal prepping a dream. Only takes like a half hour.
What do you grill up on that bad boy?
Mostly chicken.
Yeah.
Pick up a copy of the Thursday edition of the Chronicle because there are 10 full-page Chehalis Outfitters ads in there. I saw the dummies today, and we're more Chehalis Outfitters than news. You'll have to find your extra dose of news in the B section towards the back, where I was able to secure a few pages.
Did you know Chehalis Outfitters has Heritage revolvers $40 off?
Oh, I thought you were saying for $40. I was like,
No.
bar the door.
Yeah, what's the limit on how many you can buy?
I do. There's no limit. I just as
Take
many as you want.
$40 revolvers.
So, yeah, all kinds of sweet deals over there. And Facebook comments of the week. I really don't have anything other than a few sports comments. Tumwater lost the state championship game in the 2As, and some guy commented that if Sid Otten was there, they would have won it. It's like,
I mean,
maybe.
they lost
he's
20 to 10.
He's pretty old. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
I don't know
then
about that take either.
And then everyone who left laughing emojis on the stories of Napavine and Tumwater losing state title games.
So like the whole roster of Onalaska probably.
Just bitter folk.
I always noticed the reverse phenomena. Anytime there was an Onalaska story, I could pick out the names of Napavine players who were going on there with the laughing emojis. Just early in the season when Onalaska had a bit more promise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
What's coming up in the next edition?
Oh, well, I've already told you about a lot of it. The robbery, the crime stuff, but we'll all be in that one. I got a 70th anniversary notice. It's going to be in this next paper as well. Wow. John Braun news, again, going to be the Senate Majority Leader up in Olympia. I believe that was the announcement anyways.
Oh.
And then we mentioned the Battle of the Badges. We'll have a lot of photos in there from Kody. Thanks for running around to that today. Did you donate anything?
No, not today. I did when me and Mitchell went to the Salvation Army fundraiser breakfast though, a couple weeks ago. I did donate there.
I don't know if we could get to the Taylors to get like a big donation for Centralia next year just to make sure that they get it. But he's a Chehalis guy, so he might be more apt to help them out. I don't know.
Yeah, that money might fall in the wrong pot, you know?
I'm told the presentation was what won it for Centralia. They just had a better showing.
Well, Centralia, for one, I think a big thing that pulled on people's heartstrings was the Centralia Police Department was actually outside bearing the cold weather in front of the Safeway, whereas the Chehalis officers were inside in the door.
You're saying they weren't as gritty as Centralia. Heard that
Funny you say
before.
that because there was an elderly woman who was doing some shopping that came by when I was at the Chehalis one, and she came by the police officers, and she mentioned how she used to ring the bell for the Salvation Army and said, everyone else that doesn't stands outside, and she called the police officers a bunch of pansies.
Oh, nice.
For sitting inside.
My.
She's got a point.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she left without donating.
Dang.
It was in good fun. She was laughing. It wasn't like it's meant to be super.
But then she
insulting,
was like, "This seriously, you're not
but
getting
yeah,
any of my money."
She was like, yeah, I will keep my money.
Yeah, maybe she went to Centralia and dropped $40 after that.
All right. In closing, we're sponsored by Summit Funding, Chehalis Outfitters, and the Roof Doctor. Leave a review and rating on Apple Podcast if you want, or send us an email at chroniclenewsdump@gmail.com.